Thank you very much. I've got to scoot to another hearing too in just a minute, but I think what I'm coming away from is from the hearing, and that is this is a balancing act, and there has to be teamwork. People have to work together. And what I'm hearing is that at least in some areas, BLM is just not doing the job that they should be and making sure that we're keeping up certain standards. One of the things that was interesting from the aerial photos is a fairly large footprint that these different facilities, are those footprints that we're seeing in the pictures just recently drilled, or does the foliage have a chance to grow back after a period of time? And are there standards about how much land you have to disturb in order to, is this all natural gas, by the way, or is this oil?
This is natural gas in our area.
Mostly natural gas?
Natural gas.
Yeah. So now, and the natural gas is going to last for some period of time, right? And then they just cap things off and can go. Is that right? How long do these wells last? And is there some sort of a requirement to keep the footprint as small as possible? Because it looked like they had roads in large areas, pretty big areas that were being used just for one, to poke a hole in the ground.
That's what they do in our area, just use one pad just for one well. Very seldom do they use directional drilling. And that impact has impacted the wildlife and my operation, because every time they take a road and a pad out of production, out of forage or a pipeline, and they don't reseed it or reclaim it correctly, and that land that we live on is real fragile. There's a lot of sandstone and that erode real quick. So if they don't build that road up to BLM standards, you got a big ditch on the middle of the road, or the water just travels down the middle of the road and never gets back to the forage like it should be.
Yeah, Mr. Boyer.
Sort of the vast majority of drilling in western Colorado is now done directional. They run, I've seen anywhere from 9 to 15 wells going on one pad and all handled directionally.
So that's the newer approach to doing it?
Not necessarily newer. It's a lot more expensive, but...
To do that type of drilling, to do the angular?
Correct.
Okay.
Congressman, if I may comment on this, two of the largest gas fields in continental United States are within a short drive of my house, the Jonah and the Anacline, producing huge amounts of gas at this time. Unfortunately, it's sitting at 7,000 feet. That area does not recover from impacts. I can take you into areas that were wildcat drilled back in the 70s and 80s, and they're highly defined. They just don't recover. And along with that is our pronghorn and mule deer. You can replant these areas with grass. The deer and antelope will starve on grass. They need the bitter brush, the sagebrush. It takes generations for that to come back.
Madam Chair, I was just thinking that just sitting in this room gets a little tiresome. Maybe we need to take the committee on a couple of river trips, if you could arrange this. Thank you.
I think there will be bipartisan support.
If I could just comment, I mean, what you guys really need to do is to do a field hearing out there and look at the impacts of what's going on. I mean, we can sit here and talk, and again, anybody can talk the talk, but for you to actually see it and be on the field and deal with the folks who have had, and we talk about leasing on private lands. Well, you know, if your private land is adjacent to somebody else who has a lease on theirs, and you're downwind of that particular oil and gas well, and 24/7 you're listening to that pounding and you're smelling those fumes, tremendous numbers of people are just getting very, very ill, and they're having all sorts of endocrine damage. And you know, there are a lot of other things besides, you know, small businesses and wildlife habitat issues here. There's tremendous public health issues here. And in Colorado last year, we actually passed a wildlife habitat protection bill, and it went through both of our legislative houses unanimously because people have recognized that we have serious problems here.